Britain is about to get a new Prime Minister, and if you own property or you're about to buy some, your phone has probably been full of the same nervous question this week. Are they coming for landlords? Are property taxes about to go up? Should I be worried? So let me give you the honest answer, not the scary version, not the salesy version, just what's actually changing, what isn't, and what a sensible investor does about it. I'm Kaylee, the Yorkshire Property Sourcer. We help busy professionals build hands-off property portfolios in the north of England, and a big part of my job is cutting through the noise so you can make calm decisions with your money. And this week there is a lot of noise. A Prime Minister has resigned, a new one is on the way, the headlines are loud, the speculation is louder, and somewhere in the middle of it all is your investment or the one you're thinking about making. So here's what we'll do in the next 10 minutes. I'll tell you exactly what's happened. I'll be straight with you about the bits investors are worried about. Then I'll show you what hasn't changed at all and the part that if you invest where we invest is actually good news. Because here's the thing, I've learned doing this, governments come and go. The fundamentals of a good property investment don't. First, the facts, calmly. Keir Starmer has resigned as Prime Minister. He's staying on as a caretaker, while his party chooses a successor, and that process runs through the summer. The clear favourite to take over is Andy Burnham, currently the Mayor of Greater Manchester. Now this matters, but maybe not for the reason you'd think. Britain is about to get its 7th Prime Minister in a decade. We have all lived through a lot of these now. And every single time, the same fear does the rounds. This will be the one that breaks the property market. It never has been. And here's the genuine interesting part this week. The markets barely moved. Mortgage rates didn't jump. The pound held steady. The people whose actual job is to price in risk and worry at a living, the bond markets, the lenders, they looked at all of this and they shrugged. They should tell you something before we go a single step further. The professionals are calm, so let's look at what's exactly on the table. The reason some property investors are nervous comes down to the new favourites track record on tax. Over the years, Andy Burnham has talked about changing the way we tax property and land. He's spoken warmly about a land value tax, an annual charge based on the value of land, which could one day replace both council tax and stamp duty. He's called the current council tax system regressive, partly because he still relies on property values from 1991, and he said he'd at least look at how capital gains is taxed. So I'm not going to stand here and pretend there's nothing in this if you hold property wealth. It's worth paying attention. But here is what the frightening headlines conveniently leave out. These are proposals and long-held opinions. They are not policy. There is no new law. There is no budget. There isn't even a manifested yet because the leadership contest is still going on. And reforms like land value tax have been discussed by politicians of every colour for decades, precisely because they are so complicated and so politically painful that they almost never actually happen. When property tax does change in this country, it tends to change slowly, with years of consultation, and it usually arrives far gentler than the first headline suggested. So the real danger here isn't the tax. The real danger is reacting to a proposal as if it was already law. Panic selling a good cash flowing asset because of a headline about something that might never happen. Years from now, to a degree nobody can yet tell you. This is how investors talk themselves into genuinely bad decisions. Now the part that should settle your nerves properly. What hasn't changed? The favourite to take over has gone out of his way this very week to reassure investors. He said he'll stick to the existing budget rules. He said he'll honour the current commitments, not to raise income tax, not to raise VAT, and not to raise national insurance for employees. And the markets believed him enough that, as I said, nothing moved. Here's something a lot of property investors forget in a week like this. Your mortgage rate is not set by who is standing outside number 10. It's set by the Bank of England and base rate and by swap rates. The base rate is being held at 3.75%, with cuts still expected later this year. Fixed rates have been drifting down, not up. Lenders have actually been cutting their buy-to-let deals in recent weeks. A 2-year fix today sits around 5.5% and easing. None of that changed because of a Prime Minister resigned. The machinery underneath your investment kept running exactly as it was the week before. And now here's the bit most people miss completely. The part that if you invest where we invest, it's quietly brilliant news. The favourite to be our next Prime Minister is the most pro-North politician to get near the top job in his generation. His entire platform is built on one idea: reindustrialising the north of England, moving investment, jobs and attention out of London and into towns exactly like the ones we buy in. Now think about what that actually means for an investor like you. We focus on 5 towns: Pontefract, Castleford, Selby, Goole and York. We chose them for their employment, their transport and their regeneration money already pouring in. Goole has a Siemens train factory and Freeport. Castleford has hundreds of millions in regeneration and thousands of new jobs on the way. York has £2.5 billion projects reshaping its city centre. That investment is already happening. A government that wants to push even more of it northward isn't a threat to the strategy. It's a tailwind. It's a wind in the sails of exactly what we are already doing. So while everyone else reads the headlines and sees danger, the sharp investor looks a little closer, sees an opportunity hiding in plain sight. Let me zoom out because this is the real lesson and it will outlast any Prime Minister. Fundamentals don't vote. The thing that makes a property a good investment doesn't care who is in Downing Street. People need somewhere to live. They need jobs nearby, transport that works and rent they can actually afford. Get those 3 things right and you're standing on a solid ground, whoever holds the keys to number 10. And right now, those fundamentals are strong. Across the country, there are 20 to 30% fewer rental homes available than there were before the pandemic. That shortage is on nobody's ballot paper, and it keeps demand high and rents rising, fastest of all in the affordable northern markets we focus on. At the same time, wages are now growing faster than rents, which keeps tenants able to pay. And the north has been rising in value while parts of the south sit flat or fall. A change of government doesn't touch any of that. The supply shortage is still there tomorrow morning. The jobs are still there. The demand is still there. So what do you actually do with all of this? You don't panic. You don't sell a good cash flowing asset in a strong area over a proposal that may never become law. But you don't freeze either, sitting in cash while inflation quietly eats away at it, waiting for a certainty that's never going to arrive. You do what good investors have always done. You buy well, in the right areas and on numbers that work today and still survive tomorrow. You structure things sensibly. You get proper advice for your own situation. I can give you the lay of the land, but I can't give you personal tax advice. And honestly, nobody on the internet should be. Calm, informed and structured beats fearful and frozen every single time. Let me leave you with the worst case and the best case because both should reassure you. Worst case, some property and land taxes get reshaped slowly over years, with consultation and a well-bought asset in a strong rental area simply absorbs it and keeps paying you every month. Best case, a government genuinely focused on the north pours fuel on exactly the regeneration we've already invested in, and the towns we focus on only get stronger. Either way, the investor who stayed calm and bought on the fundamentals come out ahead. This is almost always how this story ends. By the way, if you'd like to see exactly how we choose these areas and the real numbers behind a real deal, I've put together a free investor pack. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. And if this was useful to you, drop the word Yorkshire in the comments and I'll send you a link to book a free call. This is Kaylee, the Yorkshire Property Sourcer, helping you invest in property the right way. I'll see you in the next video.